What's going on, everybody? It's Crypto Vision here, back again with another midweek live. I hope you're having a great week. I hope you're having a great day. Today, we're going to be getting into some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, some total market cap, some others. We're going to be looking at some different charts, some various charts, like we always do, right? We got to break it up a little bit. We'll be diving into some requests, if there's any request. We'll be looking at some XRP, maybe some larger blue chip alts. We're also going to be looking at the stock market, right? So if you're not in the premium membership, right, we do a Profit Lab series. It's not just crypto. We do traditional stocks. We do precious metals, and some of those stocks have actually done fairly well. So we're going to talk a little bit about uh, the ideas that we go through, the structure in which I formed the Profit Lab series. What we focus on in terms of portfolio management, locking in trades, locking in profits, and minimizing losses. So we're just going to kind of go through that if that's something you're interested in, right? Just a brief preview of something that could help you, solidify your trading future. Because we all know we all want to make that 10x trade, but the singles and the doubles, the 30, the 40, the 50% trades, those are what keep you in the game. So without further ado, let's get into it. What up, Banano? XLM, right off the bat, XLM. We'll get into some, we got to get into some XLM. I'm going to be checking out some XLM. I appreciate you stopping by, brother. Um, I'm going to be looking at its counterpart, be looking at XRP as well. I'll be looking at, I think we're going to start with some Bitcoin just because it's, there's some good news, right? Pardon me. So if you're not in the Discord, I've been updating the status on the Middle East. There is the strait has been blockaded, right? And so, Iran can no longer import and export, so that has expedited new talks. I mean, to this, I mean, at this point, they're looking to begin talks next week again already, fairly quickly. They've extended the ceasefire, right? And so I think Iran is really looking for a peace deal now because their economy is being destroyed, right? So if you can't win through war, you win through sabotaging economy, things of that nature. Okay, so that's good. No more bloodshed. We don't want to see any more war. We want to see this thing come to an end, especially for markets for one thing, for the people in between. Right, we want to see this thing resolved, and I think that's going to be taking place. They're trying to get that done, which is good news. Trueflation posted a core inflation of 1.89%. I posted on that. Imports, right, are rising steadily. I think it's a little bit 1.5% higher. So we could expect, imports being a little bit more expensive, but our exports are around 4.5 to 5% higher than what they were year over year. And so we're exporting more goods at a higher price. The downside to that is if we're doing that, our dollar is strengthening, right? That means it costs more for other countries to buy our goods, which is not great, right? We don't want a strong dollar. We want crypto to do well. We want crypto to replace the dollar, and so that's what we kind of need to happen. We need the dollar to correct, right? The dollar to kind of weaken, and then these other avenues of currency can start to take its place, right? XLM, XRP. I mean, possibly Bitcoin. We'll see. It's more of a store of value. It's not an actual, financial tool. But there's a lot of different aspects of crypto that are appealing to that nature. We always got to talk about the macro. We're not just looking at charts here. We're not just astrologers on the chart. So looking at the chart. So Bitcoin here, we have this. I mean, at this point, you almost have like this W, which is very beautiful. It's very nice. It is. This and this are now different. Okay, they're different. Okay, this was a slow and steady increase, right? This is slow and steady going up, and then it rejected. All right, what have we done here? What have we done here? We came up, rejected, came back down, and come back up, and now we're closing. We're trying to close over this level. Okay, so a lot of people are saying, this is a bear flag, everybody. This is a bear flag, everybody. Bear flag, bear flag. I'm gonna ask you a question, right? When you're looking at an asset, right, that is doing something um, like this, right? It's coming down. It's coming down, right? Coming down, okay? Right? That's what we would expect to happen right now is We're the opposite, right? When we're cupping up, right? As of right now, we're cupping up, we're cupping up, we're cupping up. Possibly you come up through here and you reject this 90. I know we've already been talking about this 93,000. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting this to come up to 80, from 88 to 93,000. That's what I'm expecting. And that's going to be the danger zone. Right now, danger zone, not so much. Right up through here, this 88 to 93,000. Right, so you gotta, hopefully you get like this 1, 2, and then you come up into 3. That's going to be the danger zone. Right, that's going to be the, if we reject there, Bitcoin, a lot of the crypto market is going to be in trouble. Right, but this run right here could be when alts really do well. Right, in a corrective phase, when alts have already been in a corrective phase. They've already completed that. So that's the idea for right now. We are above this level of 71,000 that we talked about for a while. We're above that level. We're above this neckline, right? We're above this neckline in a W pattern, right? In a W pattern. So that's nice. So that is nice. You could say if you are in a kind of a flagging out, you're in like an ABC. This is like so far a 3-wave move. So you could need a 3-wave move back down. Okay, 3-wave move back down. And then you complete everything. Okay, then you're done. And then you can move up. So we still have these levels from 53 to 57. I don't think anything goes below 53. I think that's the minimum. All right, and we have reasons for that. We've talked about that many times. But overall, right? Overall, it's looking fairly well. We're gonna put the electricity costs on here. We're gonna check this out as well. You know, we've hit this fair value gap, which is great. You do want to get back into fair value. We're going to look back at electricity costs. Electricity costs are at 66,000. Okay, so now we're starting to diverge. Okay, we've talked about this many times, right? With the electricity costs, you're staying above your electricity cost for the most part. Okay, above. This is the only one down through here on the weekly chart where you dipped below it, and it wasn't significantly below it, but you did dip below it one time. You dipped below it. Okay, so that's that one time you dip below it. Did we dip below it here? Yes, we did. We've already dipped below it right through here. We were down below it for multiple weeks, right? I mean, you wicked down here, then you came back down, you wicked again, you wicked again, you wicked again. You closed down, right? You came back down, closed down again. So we've spent a lot of time underneath electricity costs. Okay, people want to say, oh, we're going to go way lower, we're going to go way lower. What happened? You didn't even get below it down here in the 2022 bear market. And it was a more, I should just delete it. The run up, we've already talked about it, was way more explosive on the for this move right through here. Right, this move is us, what, 1,700% or something like that. 1,700%. Just want to make sure everything is being covered. Right, 1,600% to the very top. You're at 1,700%. This has been 700%, I believe. From the low to the high, 700%. So more than double. This was more than double. This was more than double of this move. This move has more structure. Okay, more structure. It's taken way longer. Okay, and so people are saying, well, this needs to correct 75% because this is what it corrected from right here. I think that's foolish. Oh, because it corrected that one time, it's going to correct the same. Well, I think the structure and the dynamics are much different. This still corrected 52%. So, those that are saying, you need to come down and correct, even more. There's no reason for that. There's no basis for that other than we want lower because we're bearish. You got a green on the MACD on the weekly chart, right? On the weekly chart, it's much more reliable. Okay, much more reliable when you cross down through here. Yes, you did find some lower lows, slightly lower lows, but it wasn't, into the 40s or 30s. Okay. So there's interest, right? We're gonna keep tracking it, keep going, seeing what's going on. Really waiting on this 3-week green dot. I'll update you guys when we find that out. Finding resistance right here at this 50. I mean, identical. 75,878. What was that, like 67 or something, or 76 or something like that? Yeah, 76. So this is big resistance. It's been big resistance so far. Okay, so until you get above, until you get above this too, we're looking for something in through here, ping pong in between, 88 and 76. That'd be fairly nice. but this is looking very nice. This is exactly what a bullish engulfing candle does. You have this bearish candle right through here. Right, you have a bearish candle. Okay. Sorry, not a bearish candle. I'm sorry. An inverted hammer, which is bullish for, which is bearish for bears, which is bullish for those that are looking for a reversal, right? And then you have a bullish engulfing. So this entire candle is almost being engulfed. Okay, so good things ahead. I do believe it is looking fairly well. It's looking fairly well. Bitcoin dominance, right? Bitcoin dominance on the monthly chart. We've been talking about this for a while. Looking to make a decision. Okay, if that's fine. You break out. That's fine. You can break out. That means Bitcoin's leading the pack. You know, it's 62%. That's why that's still up there. Okay, it's almost in line with that 100 EMA. So this really could break out and then come down through here and reject. Right? Not the end of the world. Right? Not the end of the world. This going up doesn't mean crypto is doing terrible. It just means Bitcoin is doing better. Okay, Bitcoin doing better. Monthly chart, no green dot yet. It's looking like it wants to get a green dot. Kind of looks like it, right? Kind of, just a little bit. Just a little bit, but you know, this had a green dot through here and right before the alt season started, right? November 2020, January 2021, that's when the alt season started. So you could see something like that, and I'll keep the premium members updated for sure on that. So we're going to be looking at, you know, XLM. We can check out some XLM for sure. On the monthly chart, this is, I mean, you're getting so oversold down through here. That's nice, right? That's nice. This is the time to start to be bullish for me personally. When you start to, you know, when you're this oversold, you know, market sentiment. Let me delete some of this. I always leave some drawings behind. I think I got more. I do. So we've already established it's really oversold. Really trying to fight above this 100 EMA. What is that? 16.3. What is that right now? 15.6. So it is below. The monthly is red. So, but we're going sideways. We're going sideways now. We're going sideways. Okay. So a little range through here. Okay. Possibly May. We're looking for something to get out of here. Possibly. It's that April 20th. This is the end of April. So we're really going to see if we can, if this thing can really get out of here. Something like this where you kept going down and down and down. And you just kind of went sideways for a month or two. Then you went up. Back tested. Up in a three-wave move. Okay. We really don't want to see a three-wave move. We really don't want to see a three-wave move at all. Not at all. Okay. You have some levels down here. Okay, this 13.6 all the way down to 11 to 10 cents. That's pretty low. I you know, it could hit 10 cents. Would I be surprised if it hits 10 cents? I would be pretty surprised. 13 cents down to 11 cents. Right, taking out some lows. That's what I would expect. You know, I mean, at this point, if we're closing down at these levels, it's probably easier on the weekly. Okay. Especially if we close below this level right through here. If we close down below 14.8%, not 14.8%, 14.8. Okay, if we close down below 14.8, I'm really going to just move this right there. 14.7. Okay. We close down below this. Okay, then I'm expecting lower levels. Close down below this right here, because that means this is invalidated. Any kind of potential move, right? Any kind of potential move. There's something very similar. I can't remember which crypto it was. Was it this one? No. Maybe Algo. Algo's looks different. It does look different. That looks very good though. That looks very good. I can't remember what it was. I got to try to get back to it, but Algo looks good. Oh, made a video about that one, but overall right now, I mean, let me make sure I don't kick that. There we go. It does look like right now, it does look like a three-wave move. Okay, it looks like a three-wave move down. So, you know, for us to really get bullish, close above 16.6. What up, Hemlock? Is XCX or XCN? Going to keep pumping or is it done? I've never looked at XCX. Appreciate you stopping by. You're thinking 12 cents, Banano. So Banano is hell bent on 12 cents. What do you do your own TA? What is your reasoning for that? What is your reasoning for 12 cents? I'd like to know. I like to know people's thoughts. Is it just because did you watch someone else on a YouTube channel for 12 cents? Why what is 12 cents? What is 12 cents? 12 cents exactly? Is there a certain level on why you're picking 12 cents? I can look at, I got you, Hemlock XCX. I just want to make sure that that's the right one. Probably is the right one. XCX. XCX. 12 cents in euro. That makes it very difficult. I have no 12 cents in euro. All right, okay, let me see. 0.1 cents euro to USD. So 14. So you're thinking 14 cents. Am I right? I could be wrong. I don't know. I just asked Google. Are you expecting 14 cents? And then XCX, is that a you said Monaco. That's in France. You're in France, right? I've always wanted to go to France. I've been to Germany, I've been to Ireland, but not France. I'm looking at XCX. I don't know if this is the XCX you're talking about, buddy. Let me know. We're going to get back to XLM. We're going to get back to XLM. I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, 14 cents. That makes sense, right? That makes sense. Yeah, I got 14. I got 13.6 down through here taking out lows. I really wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, this 14.7, so I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's something, but yeah, if we take out this right through here, if we close down below here, I would expect that we're taking out this low. Or you can double bottom. All right, so if I was you, Banano, and I'm looking for an entry, right? None of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but if I were you, it is kind of a, entering here is kind of sketchy, right? You're in between the way the channel operates is you're below your monthly open, and you're working in a three-wave move. Okay, you're working in a three-wave move, and you're above this next correction level. So either confirm and close up through here. That would be a solid entry. Okay, confirm. You got to close up here, right? Full body candle close. Don't do this. That doesn't count. Okay, full body candle. So the body. I'm so sorry. That's a terrible. Right there. So full body candle got to be up there. Okay, that would be for me a safer entry, because then you can just have the monthly open as a stop loss. Okay, because if you close down below here, then really, 10 cents is the worst case scenario. What I really think is on there. I just have it on there. It is back testing this level right through here. That's why I got that level up there. This 11 cent is something where it really tried to fight above. I'm pretty sure on this last move. No. Get out of here. Get out of here. 11 cents. A lot of interesting areas right through here. Okay. Right through here. And then right here. This is that rejection. That last spot. Right, rejection. You got to look at historical, what it did historically. So that 11 cents, it could. That was where actually, on that last move, on this move right here, I actually entered right. I'm telling you, I got so lucky. I entered right here. Me and my cousin, we entered right here. Got so lucky, wasn't really doing any kind of TA on it. A little bit of TA on it, but nothing in depth, right? Saw that it was just oversold and entered that and put a stop loss on that. So, 11 cents would make the most sense for me. Upside targets, right? We've already talked about upside targets. 91 cents to over $1, and beyond that, especially if you can, especially if this thing can run up through here, back test this 52 cent, then I'm expecting a large move. Really have to back test this. Really have to break it, right? Break, back test, then go. Okay, because you've rejected it right there. You've rejected it right here. Rejected it right there. So 3 rejections. But either way, right? Either way, if you're at 14 cents or 16 cents, right, to this first area is 200%, to the next area, pardon me, 400%, 600%. Those are great moves. Those are life-changing moves. So for me personally, that's something that I'm looking forward and into. It did have a red dot right through here on the weekly chart, kind of sketchy. But here's the thing: this RSI looks very nice. This is a very nice RSI. You broke out of the moving average, and you have this W pattern. We have this horizontal line. This last time it really, really tried to get above and couldn't hold. Okay, and we were thinking, through here we talked about it for a while that you have this W pattern. Okay, not forming quite yet, but I mean that's very nice. It's very similar to this, right? And what'd you do? You broke out. Okay, so very similar. There's reasons to believe, to be cautious here. You always got to be cautious and protect your capital, but at the same time, the setup is looking very nice. You got to cross in the MACD, so we're checking that out. XLM protocol. Yes, I got you, brother. I'm gonna look at XRP. I'm gonna look at XRP, Ethereum, and then I'll get to that one. Because I got on the Discord, I have premium members who message me that they want some stuff covered. So I got to take care of them first, and then I'll get to you for sure. I always cover XLM, FYI, Hemlock, because I own I'm in XLM. So Banano and I are very interested. I'm interested in XLM, and Banano is looking for XLM too as well. So that's why there's no hard feelings. Okay. All right. XRP looks a little bit different. XRP looks a little bit different. Okay, just a little bit. There's not a clean three-wave move, right? There's nothing right quite yet. We've closed down below this area through here. Right? We've closed down below through here, but you're above your monthly open. In my opinion, what looks more bullish to me, X money is near. Good point. X money is near. I know. I talked about that a little bit about 2 to 3 weeks ago on the premium Profit Lab series. That X money is coming in. Obviously everyone that has skin in the game for any kind of asset, they're saying, oh, it's going to be Doge, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, it's going to be that. Who knows what it's going to be? X money. You're thinking of XLM, XRP, XCN, something with the X in it, right? It's X money. That's what I'm thinking of. Something that has real world ability, that can process payments very quick, very cheap, things of that nature. So something with X in the name, I would assume, but I'm foolish. I don't know. So XRP versus XLM, they do look different. They run together. So this is where it starts to get interesting. They look different, but they run together. So you had this slight pump, gave up all your gains, closed down below. So this is invalid. Okay, this is invalid. So to me, XRP, it looks better because it's closing above the monthly open, but there's no structure there. There's no setup there. It still needs to get up. Now you need to close above this level, so you have to close above $1.45. You have to on a full body candle close. Then you have to have a three-way move down, okay, especially on the weekly chart, right? I mean, you don't need it, but it would be really nice. For me, XRP lower levels, $1.10 all the way to 92 cents. All the way to 92 cents. I don't know if 92 cents gets hit. 97 cents particularly. Big reason why for 92 it was this last area of resistance, right? A bunch of resistance right through here. Bunch of resistance through here. And 97 cents was the 1618 extension for a possible fifth wave. I mean, you even have resistance all the way over through here. Look at all this right through here. Look at all that stuff right in there. So key area, people, I see people calling for 50 cents, 60 cents. I think those people are delusional. It's just like, you know what it is? You guys have to have this mindset, because this is the mindset. People calling for 60 to 50 cents were the same people calling for $10 up here. That's the idea that we have to get through our heads is, the extreme bears, the people that are extremely nervous, they've they've either lost money and they hate crypto, so they just want crypto to go to zero, or they're making they're so far up, they're taking snapshots, they're screenshots, they're not taking profits, and they're entering short positions when they really should be cautious right through here, because this is how bottoms work. There's a lot of negative news right now. There's tons of negative news. They can't pass the Clarity Act because of banks, because of verbiage, because of yields. Okay, there's war in the Middle East. Well, there's a ceasefire right now, but you know what I mean. There's uh, semantic war, I guess, from the current administration, the president and the Fed chair, which is Jerome Powell. Right, they don't like each other. There's our government isn't even all the way fully open quite yet. There's still back and forth stuff. There's a lot of turmoil. You can't ignore all the turmoil and all the mess that's going on right now, and midterms are coming up, so there's a lot of BS going on. XRP though, we have targets going all the way up to $9.53. Okay, $5 all the way up to $9. With all that being said, with XRP and XLM, look, I mean, it's almost it's too beautiful. You got like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that could be I mean, that could be it. It really could be it. I've taken these measurements multiple times. We can take it from here if we want to be the most conservative, right? The most conservative. I would assume that, if this is the 1-2 setup, I mean, 68 cents is down at the 2618. We've been taking it down through here for the most part, right through there. This is the high coming down to the low right through there, because that makes the most sense for a 1-2 setup. The 2618 is right there at 97 cents. That's where we got the 97 cents. It's confluent with previous areas of resistance, previous areas of support. We have this 2 right through here at 153. We have this, this key area up through here, that 786, 618 areas at 265 to 280. Big area of resistance, right? So we have key areas, and that's what we're looking for XRP. We're looking for a setup. There's no setup right now. So could it go lower? Yes, it could go lower because there's no setup. There's no red dot, right? XLM has a red dot. This is crossing on the weekly. So they're different. But if I see XRP looking like it wants to run, I'm gonna assume that XLM is right behind it. Okay, they're not gonna they're gonna run together. They're gonna correct together. In my opinion, I could be 100% wrong. So, what up, David? Orchestrated madness is what's going on. I feel you, brother. Orchestrated madness is correct. I did want to check something out. Look at DJT, baby. Let's go. The Russell. We've been charting the Russell for a while. Look at this. It's coordinated madness, orchestrated madness, while the markets are doing fairly well. And so what I think really is going on is, like you said, orchestrated madness to get people, recession is here, the world is going to end, or World War III is going to start, pull out all your money, save all your money, make sure and that's the worst. I mean, for me personally, right? This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but to take your money out or just to leave it strictly in savings is how you lose money, to me personally, because okay, yeah, you're mitigating your risk, but you can always take your money and put it into a dividend stock, put it into a low risk dividend stock, to put it into a CD, do something like that where you're gaining something. A lot of people they think the financial system is going to collapse. They think America is going to collapse. You go on X, it's doom and gloom. You go on the news, everything is, like David said, orchestrated madness. When the Russell is doing well, the SPY is doing well. We've been talking about this for a while. PMI, you don't get above these levels, right? You don't get above the 200 and then enter a recession. I'm sorry to break your balls if you're expecting a recession. You don't get above these levels and then correct. Above, right? Above, not above, right? Above. And this is monthly. This is all the way to 2016. Okay, so this is Bitcoin pretty much that run. You don't get above this level and just, oh, never mind. We've been above it now for 1-2 months, and and flagging out, right? This is PMI, by the way. So this is expansion. This is an economy growing. This is investments coming into a country, right? This is like going to your neighbors if you played sports, selling your cards, so then you can go buy equipment, right? So this is, America saying, hey, we can offer you this if you buy this stuff, right? Buy this stuff. We can offer you this. America takes that money and they go and invest it, right? Put the money in a nano cap. Ford, I got you. The nano just. Oh man, I'll check a look at Forda. We're gonna be looking at XCX. We're gonna be looking at XCX and Forda. Put the money in the nano cap, baby. Last thing right here is this chart through here. This is expansion, right? This is the Fed with expansion. Pretty much, how much money is entering Siacoin. Hey, we looked at Siacoin. It's not doing anything. I told you, Banano. It kind of went down. It kind of went down. It's not really doing much, but we talked about that. We talked about that. I can look at it again for you. We talked about what the current state is at. This is expansion as you go up. We're in expansion. You don't cross the 20. I'm telling you right now, you don't cross the 20 and enter a recession. You don't do it. You don't cross the 20 and then enter a recession. Right? 2022. This is when we had our technical recession right here. You can go look it up. I'm not spouting out BS. The news came out to protect that administration from 2020 to 2024, which was absolutely, just destroying our economy, bloating a lot of things, right? Just printing money. So what happened is 2022, a technical recession occurred. 2 negative GDP prints in a month, 2 quarterly negative GDP prints. And what happened? Look at this. This thing went down. Okay, what are we doing? We're expanding. We're about to expand. Okay, people are. I don't know. I don't know where people are getting their news from. CNN and things like that. Those fear mongering places. Wait, let me see Snapchat. So we were in these on the man. QSI is was a great buy. Okay, you guys got to keep me on track. I get when I go live, I kind of bounce off the walls. I got to keep the energy up, but I'm always going from here and there. So let's check out XCX. What did he Hemlock XCX on BidGet. All right, XCX BidGet. Let's check it out. Is this a nano coin? XCX 33%. Oh man, what a great move this was. Wait a minute, this thing just went up 3,900%. What? Did this thing really just go up that much? Am I tripping? This thing just went up. Yeah, if this thing just went up. Yeah, I'm taking profits. Hey, Hemlock. Did you get in on this? What, like this thing just went up? This thing just did a 20x in a week. Cause yeah, I'm not. If I'm in this stock, if I'm in this, yeah, you're already, yeah, I'm out. I mean, this thing can't be bullish until you break above the 382. You can't start to get bullish until you break above that. I don't know the market cap on this thing. Wait, David said I heard someone opened a $20 million long on Ethereum. Ethereum 2,300. Yeah, Hemlock. This thing is. In all honesty, this does look like a 3-wave move down. You could get a 3-wave move back up, and then, right, correct. It went up 1,000%, right? It went up 2,000%. Did you get in on this, Hemlock? If you did, congratulations, brother. That's great. I love to hear that. I love to see people winning. This is good stuff. If you're still in it, I mean, 786, anything closing below 786. I mean, if you really want to, if you're in on it, you took some profits out. For me personally, I would have a stop loss right through here, but that's a 50% loss. So this is right, even coming through here, this is going to be a hard trade to manage because it's so volatile. Right, it's very volatile. Congratulations, dude. Congratulations. That's great. That is great. And that's why, you know, uh, X-Celeb protocol. Ideas. No ideas, no minds, no nothing. This thing just went crazy. No one, I didn't even heard about this. Um, what price did you get in at? Hemlock, did you get in through here once it broke out? How'd you hear about this thing? This thing seems very obsolete. It is, it is form, like I said, a three-way move down. Three-way move down. Okay, so, all right, you got a three-way move. You really could have a three-way move up and then three-way move back down. It's just, tight stop losses for sure. Breaking down through here, breaking down at this 006 level will open up 003. So that's a big difference, right? That's a 37% difference. 0.005. Great entry, dude. Great entry. So you're up right now. Yeah, you're up, man. You're up. 0.005. Yeah, you're up. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and this 6-4 would protect you, right? You'd still lock in a winning trade. That's what hey, this is the plug, right? I got to put in the plug. This is what I offer through for $5 a month, the Profit Lab series. It's one aspect of it, but we go through and we talk about locking in, so managing your portfolio, locking in profits and minimizing losses. Right? It's not just holding on and hoping, right? You identify structure, you're in a three-wave corrective move after an impulse. Okay, so what are you expecting? If you're expecting anything, you come right back up to this level. You reject this level through here like this, then yeah, you're looking for a correction coming back down, right? Something like that. But I do this with not just crypto. We do this with we just went through Snapchat, QSI, DJT. We do it with precious metals, stocks, things like that. So it's I think I've gotten feedback that it's highly helpful. It allows you guys, me included, because I get to go through and do this. It gives a strategy, but it just helps cut through all the BS. Kind of what David said, orchestrated madness. You're not freaking out here worried about everything and every little drop here and there. Okay, so yeah, that's what I would expect. Something through there. Any kind of targets. I mean, realistically, I don't know if that's the low. It could be the low, but it all depends on that level. Look at that. That's why you do TA, baby, right there. That 382 matches with that 382 perfectly. Yeah, I would have, something up through here. Right there. That's it. Keep it simple, stupid. Right there. So, of course, Hemlock, I got you, brother. So we're going to be checking out, shoot, what was it again? Forta, and then I'm gonna check out Sia Coin. Forta Night. Ondo. I've been watching Ondo for a while. Cannot get above 26 cents, man. Cannot get above 26 cents. It's frustrating. Really want to get into Ondo. Okay, I don't have Forta. What exchange is this on, David, by any chance? Forta. Maybe David took off. I know there's a little lag. There's like a 30-second lag. There's a lot of exchanges. They're all different. I'll wait for a little bit longer, then I'll go to Sia Coin for Banano. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. What Coinbase? Okay, got you. Coinbase. Let's do USDC. Oh yeah, I see that. All right. I kind of want to actually see Forta. Let's do US dollar. There we go. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, Forta. What is Forta? What is this thing? Um, what is Forta? Who knows? All right, tiny market cap, 9 million market cap. Okay, so we're dealing with one of those bad boys. One of those. I like doing TI in these guys because these guys are unpredictable. Good grief! Look at that thing. You were not lying, David. And then it closed down here. That's crazy on that week. That's a crazy week. 60%. Look at that. Look at that 20. I mean, at this point, this is some easy TA. You just get above the 20 and you're bullish. Forta, what is this line from? I've never looked at Forta before. I don't know how that happens sometimes. Down and to the right. When did this start? 2022. 2024. Oh, so this had a... Okay, so this is not correlated with the traditional markets. Right, because this is that main move was in March. So I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So it's correlated with this market right here, with the market that went right here, March 2024, like up through here. It's a small market cap, so it waited to the very end, right? It waited to the very end. Okay. So I mean, some coins did very well right here. Jasmine did very well right there, and then some coins did way better in November. So this is just an offbeat, off rhythm, you could say, so to speak, off rhythm coin. So it does look like it's going to run on the latter aspect of the first run. It's kind of weird to say, but that's what I'm getting from this. This looks good down here. Once this starts doing this, I like the structure when it does this and then flattens out. All right, flat. It's just flat right now. Okay, so it almost is like um, like an inverted head, shoulder kind of look, right? Something like this, okay? Oh, pardon me. Something like this. I think you could come up through here, find some resistance right at that 20, and then go. We're obviously going to zoom in. Look at some indicators. We got to look at the indicators too, but price action is king at this channel. This is a very nice candle so far. It's only Wednesday, so we got to stay, you got to stay cautious and optimistic. Cautiously optimistic. All right, it's almost like you need a parabola. Almost like it needs a parabola. I kind of want to see if... No. Okay. We gotta see if these make any kind of sense. Hold up. Wait a minute. No. No, no, no. Maybe this guy right there. Wait a minute. Look at that. Not so much. We're going to keep working. We're going to keep working. We're going to keep working. Okay. So we're going to really just analyze. We're really going to analyze this through here. This through there. It's a tiny market cap, so it really can have a mind of its own. Okay, it really can have a mind of its own. No real clean structure. That's going to take it down to the negatives. Okay, so we got to look at this right through here then. That close. Wait, let me check this out. That is a higher close. Okay, so we really could do something I mean, dang it, that's a lower close. This is going to be kind of tough, if I'm being honest. I really want to check this out, just some key levels for this. I'm going to check this out right here. This is at 786. This is usually a pretty big resistance level. 886 down through here. All those are negative. I'm not too worried about that. Really just trying to see what the moves look like. We gotta zoom in a little bit more. Where is this at? This is right there. Okay. Is that right at the? That's right below the 22. Cool. Cool. All right. Let's check this out. All right, just working it. I sold Ford at 9 pence before it crashed. Got back in at a penny. Sweet. So you sold it at 9. So you sold it up here. Nice. Then you got back in at a penny. Good. I love to hear it. That's good news. That is good news. As of right now, right, this does look, it's pretty hard to see what's actually going on the daily. Look at this, down in that golden zone. That zone, well, you sold it up here for, that would have been nice to have this auto fib right when you get into that oversold zone looking to sell. You're still in gold. You're still in this gold accumulation zone. So realistically, this is all good price. All good price. We're going to move this around for a lower 0.004. Definitely on the table. This is a tiny market cap. Definitely on the table. Right now, there's not like an actual move so far. This looks pretty ugly. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's almost like a diag, which is nice. Which it can be nice, especially if you can come back down through here. Back test this right through there. So that's what we're gonna do for that last one. All right, don't close below. You close below 137. I'm targeting 127. Okay, because it is, you're getting higher. Right, you're getting higher prices. Okay, in a 5-wave move. So that is a diag. You got this 3-wave move down through here and a 4th. And then you got your 5th wave. So, you know, it works. It works. I mean, I don't even want to take that. That's fraudulent. Fraudulent behavior. 2618. If I'm being honest. If I'm being real. I like that. I like that right there. I know it. It changes, right? It changes. It's not just what about the 1618? What do we have? We already have 2. Okay, let's mark this up through here too. This 1618 right there. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. So without even looking at indicators, we got some ideas of what's going on. Okay, we keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid on the channel. All right, so we're looking to close above 1.5 to 1.6, some resistance up through here. Okay, you are above your 20 EMA, but does that really mean a lot? No, it doesn't. Honestly, it doesn't. You got up through here, you got up through there, you got up through right here. Really not a huge deal. So you know, making sure this does look like a 5-wave move diag pattern. Okay, can it go up a little bit higher? Sure, it could, and then it could correct. Don't lose 137. 137 is that termination point. It's a wave 1 termination point on the close. You lose 137, target 127. You lose 127, in for a rough ride. Possible prices all the way down. This is a pretty low price. I understand that, but it is a $9 million asset. You have to take into account that it can really sell off. I mean, it went from 20 cents down to a penny. So. Is this a cybersecurity play? I got you. Cybersecurity is good nowadays, man. Cybersecurity is... Shoot, that's what my buddy does. He's got his Sec Plus cert. He does cybersecurity for a big company. So, makes good money, enjoys it. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. But those are the levels I got. right? This auto fib. So I got to put the plug again. This is something that I offer, right? Customized auto fib for the visual representation. So you don't need to wait on perfect levels. I do like having levels because these levels will coincide with key resistance levels. Um, so it's a visual representation. What's going on? Did I lose connection? Possibly. Want to make sure. Am I back? I don't know if I'm back or not. Let me know in the comments if you guys if it's picking up. It showed like a connection error and my quality kind of dropped a little bit. I want to make sure it's good quality. Por favors, kind sirs. I do see your comment 2024 high. Yeah, that's at 46 cents, right? That is, we're in I think it's in a nice accumulation zone right now for sure. So, but even up through here 7 cents, that's a 7x. So, where's Saya coin at? And this is just for the temporary, right? I mean, I expect if crypto starts to run, obviously 2 cents, I think it can break 2 cents. Um, it's just for right now, especially for the swing trader, right? Swing trader, maybe take some off the table, buy some, take some off the table, buy some. So you just get to accumulate on the way up. It is from where it's at right now to that high level. It's an 80% move. To me, that's securing a win. Look at this, 45% up. Look at this thing. This thing just shot up. Good for Hemlock. This was a great move right in here. This is a great move. I mean, shoot, it's kind of corrected now, but this is crazy. This is crazy. So Saya coin, pardon me, Saya coin. All right, on the daily chart, I'm gonna put this. Well, it's kind of. I can leave it. It's fine. Hopefully, it doesn't change up. It's like Polyswarm. I'm not familiar with Polyswarm, David. Is that just another cybersecurity token? I'm trying to learn. There's just so many. I'm trying just to learn um, what's going on. All right. So, Saya coin. What when we make that short? We made it. Oh, sorry. We went live on Monday. I was saying it looks like it needs to come down. Came down. Okay. So, you know, right now, I guess I can move up one of these because that's pretty low. I mean, you got like a 1, 2, 3. Maybe you're in a fourth wave move down. You got to go get a fifth. So realistically, right? Realistically, we could move this up through here like this. Realistically, right? So, okay. Green dot, not a green dot yet. The RSI looks nice. RSI is looking good. Is the correction complete? That's the question. Okay, let's say you have a 1, 2 right here. Great, hit the 1618 on the first move. So you got a 1, 2. You got an A, B, C for your third wave move. And then you have almost like a three-wave move down. Okay, right through here. You have an A, B, C. So what the heck is going on right in here? What is going on in here? Saya coin, what are you doing in here? $53 million asset. It's tiny. It's tiny. Looks like it came down to that 786 area. 69197. Okay. That'll work. Well, this can't be a red and above it. That doesn't make any sense. We gotta clean this up just a tad bit. Okay, there we go. All right, Banano. Here's your Saya coin. Here's your Saya coin for you. Pardon me. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Man, even right there. $53 million asset. Pretty small. Pretty small. Yeah, 1618 all the way to the 2618. Kind of want to. 2 cents. What are we at right now? This can be green. There we go. That's perfect. That's great. There we go. Okay. Okay, here we go. So it's like Polyswarm all-time low. In May, there is the launch of the mobile application of Siacoin. Oh, we've been talking about May. We've been talking about May because of Bitcoin dominance. Really, the end of April. Really, I mean, with a lot of coins like DGen, at least DGen, TARS AI, and a couple other coins I've been watching. If you've been around, April 20th, right? Next week Monday, next week Tuesday, big week. Kind of coinciding with peace talks being on Tuesday next week. Next week Tuesday is when the expected next round of peace talks are going to happen. So end of April, beginning of May, I'm expecting something to happen because crypto has been kind of in a lull, and I think a lot of us can agree that I think it's lulled a lot of people to sleep. All right, it's lulled a lot of people to sleep because there's not any kind of immediate. There hasn't been anything going on. Maybe you get the XCX kind of thing where you go up that much, but that's very random, and that's more that's just a rug pull most of the time. PNG, I know it, David. I know it. You've been asking about PNG for a long time, man. You've been waiting on PNG for a long time. I'm sorry to say it, brother. PNG was rough, has been rough to be in. I actually entered PNG. I remember when I entered PNG, I had a tight stop loss. That thing got hit so quick, so I couldn't re-enter it just because of how volatile it was. I had to wait. But Siacoin, right, until you break 965 downside pressure, you're in this channel. Okay, so key levels through here. So I'll touch on those on next week for sure. Look at Turbo. Turbo's doing well. 36% XCX. That's crazy. Okay. Wallet connection token been catching my attention. Could be a good play. Wallet connection token. Is that an app? Is that a coin? Wallet connection token? Wallet connection token. I'm gonna look at some PNG for a little bit. PNG. This thing has been bruised, battered, and bruised. Look at that though. Whoa, hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Look at PNG. Wait, hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Look at PNG. Wow. Six months. I mean, even getting to 10 cents, that's a 5x move. WTC. It's all right. Hey, David, it's all right, man. Hey, you don't. I was down on Jasmine. I kept accumulating, and now entry is so good. I'm happy, right? Happy. I'd be mad if I sold because of the potential of missing out on what I actually believe. No. I don't know. PNG looks good. It is at 6 million. It's getting close, right? We've been tracking it for a while. Look at this though. Look at PNG. Okay. No, this looks good, man. This looks very productive right here. This looks very productive. This is what you want to see at the lows. I'm being honest, man. I'm not blowing smoke. I'm not blowing smoke. This is exactly what you want at the lows. This looks really good. This is a bullish. We all know it can't be 100%. Okay, we can't trust it 100%. But you have this, you have an impulse, and then you have a three-wave move. You could come down in five. You could come down in five, which is fine, as long as you don't take out the lows. Okay, we're gonna move this low right to here, and I'll put a new one on there. All right. This looks better than anything that's happened so far. Look at the difference, okay? See, I'm a big proponent of looking at structure and comparing it to, I mean, look at all these key levels. Good grief. That's facts. Don't get into crypto unless you have steady income. That's true. Yeah, I've got a good paying job. This is not how I make my money. I don't make any money on YouTube, right? Right. I work, I invest. But hey, this is what we're doing. We're talking about the lows and formation. Look at this. Look what it did similarly. This is what we're doing now is even more structure. This took like a little blip, and then it really started to go. All right, look at the difference. This looks ugly. This isn't even nice. You came down here, you wicked, you took out lows. It is a $6 million asset, so it doesn't have to follow structure, right? We got to keep that in mind. It can have a mind of its own. It doesn't have to follow the TA. It really doesn't. It doesn't have to. But this right here at the lows, this is what I'm talking about. It's exactly what I'm talking about. This is what we look for at lows. This is what I look for at lows. I look for an asset that's been extremely oversold. And then I look for an asset that is building solid structure at the lows. I mean, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Wow. You're coming in like this. You're cupping down. Look at this handle right here. Right below this resistance level. Not attempting. That's giving me like good vibes. I might put this on down as the PNG might enter the Profit Lab series. I'm being serious. I love this right here. I love that look. Let me see. Is there any bullish divergence going on? Let's minimize this. No. Not on the weekly. Maybe. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Bullish divergence on the weekly chart. This is looking good. You got lower lows on the on the price, and you got higher lows on RSI. Okay. What about? See, that's not good. All right, you had higher lows on price, higher highs on price. I always do that. Lower highs. So that's not good. Okay, but you came down through here. Okay, you came back down, and now what are you at? Now you've reestablished. Okay, so now you have lower highs and lower. So you have lower highs and you have lower highs, which is good. That's what you want. But yeah, this is looking promising for sure. For sure. Green dot on the monthly chart. Whoa. Hold up. Yeah, this is getting interesting. PNG, very interesting. Really needs to get above that monthly open. You get above that monthly open. Wow, I mean, how do you not I mean, even like you have to be honest. We have to be honest with ourselves. It could just be a three-wave move up. Okay, you don't even have to make. You might not make new all-time highs. 40 cents. That's a 20x. All right. So that's 120 million for 40 cents, something like that. I think I have some levels up here. 42 cents, right? Well, we can't just assume that we're gonna make new all-time highs, especially when you're down at these lows. You can't assume that. Can't assume it. That's dangerous work. That is dangerous work because you've come down. This really could be your A wave. Okay, you can come up in a B, and then you got to come back down in a C. But I mean, who's really complaining? You can't be complaining if you get in down at these levels. Even if you're down here, even if your entry's at 10 cents, you're up, 400%. It's yeah, you're not down at 2 cents, but um, I think overall you need to look at people need to look at the ability to make money. What's your return on investment? If it takes a year, whatever. The best hedge funds, the best financial advisors do 10 to 12% a year, maybe 15% a year. So to get up to 400%, that's years and years and years. So some patience, is worth it. In my opinion, it's just my opinion. People want their gratification now. And look at QSI. See, this is part of the Profit Lab series. We got a solid entry. We have take profit levels. Things are looking great. Snapchat, we had our entry level. We have take profit levels. It's a system that we go through every Friday. Check it out if you're interested. It's the same kind of stuff that we do here. Okay, last thing, if there isn't any more, I do want to, because if Ethereum isn't going, nothing's going. And boy, oh boy, look at Ethereum. Look at that thing go. Look at Ethereum go. Okay, we're above 21. No, my next target is up at $3,000 for Ethereum. This looks good. You impulsed. You came down. This is going to look beautiful on the daily. I already can just tell it's going to look nice on the daily. Wow. On the RSI looks good. Crossing. I mean, and people are extremely bearish right now. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Please no bearish divergence right now. But we did come and take out lows. So we did come through. We took out this low right here. All right. Took out that low. Okay. So you did set a lower low. Did you? Yes, you did. Okay. That's good. So you took out, so you reset it. All right. You reset. Look at that inverted head and shoulders. Look at that. You break out, back test, going up. That's nice. To me, that's nice. People say, oh, bearish divergence, bearish divergence. Well, you came down through here and you took out this low that you were working up. So you set a new low, right? You came down through here on this correction, right? Took out lows, and now you reset. If you came up through here and you didn't take out these lows, let's say you stopped right here, and then you came up like this and did that, that would be bad. That would be bad because you'd still have higher lows all the way. Okay. So I'm not too worried about that at all. Green dot up on the stochastic, you're really running into this. So I'd say, Ethereum breaking up above, 23.86 right here. Right here, we're at the door. At the door. Oh wow. Oh wow. This looks good. This right here looks very good. It looks corrective still, right? You got 3 waves down, you got 3 waves up. Maybe you need 3 waves back down, but still, you can still get up here. It almost looks like a diagonal pattern, but there's 5 waves up. David Stater will be a good play when things get moving. Thing goes like a rocket. Banano, can you take a look at silver? I got you, brother. I'll take a look at silver and Stater. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Ethereum. Did I take out the lows? I did. So you're going to have this low. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. That's just beautiful. We got this 1, 2, 3. Come down for a fourth wave move. Fourth wave move. And come back up. Wow. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. 2100. You can use 2100. You can come all the way back down realistically. Come all the way back down to 2142, and Ethereum's still fine. So really you have like an A, B, C, maybe correct over the next day or two or something like that. And then you get going again. Come up to 26. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I kind of want to see actually that 2618 is at 2600, so maybe we have to adjust our. We don't know the lows yet. That's the thing. We're going to take 2179 as a low. We're going to take these as a low. 2800 too. I mean, at least the 1618, 2800. I mean, and then if you're doing something like this, right, bears are going to be in trouble. They're going to be nervous. They're going to be nervous. So things are looking up. Things are looking good. Things are looking good. There's room to the downside for a correction. So if there is some red, we don't have to worry. Don't panic. This does look like it wants to correct a little bit. If we take this 2-wave low to the high, I mean, just staying above they're still above the 382. This is a very shallow correction so far. You know, above the 382 and you're still bullish on continuation. Once you break the 382, then you're looking for, 618 down to the 786, 886 worst case really. Not for this correction obviously. Worst, you can't close down below 21. You can't close down below that. You just can't do it. So not allowed. Not allowed at all. We can add one more onto here. Right there. Right there. We don't need the monthly. Okay, cool. What's going on? Yeah, silver. Always got to be looking at gold and silver. Because I'm trying to get into silver. I'm trying to get into silver. I'm trying to get in. Gotta zoom out. Gotta zoom out right now. Probably has a green dot. Got a green dot. Just fine. Just fine. Yeah, this looks corrective, man. Do I have my trend lines? I don't even know if I want to use that one. So steep. So steep. That's really steep. I'm not going to use that one. Can't use that one, right? We got to stay consistent. You can't use something that's way off, right? That way goes way down through there, but we can use this right through here. Perfect. I'm going to pull this all the way up to right here. Pull this all the way up to right there. Okay, bearish channel. When it's looking like this, when it's just kind of grinding up. When it's grinding up like that. Okay, so, but there is a green dot on the weekly chart. There's a green dot on the weekly chart. I'm not buying right here for sure. I'm not buying. Green dot. Pardon me. It does look like it wants to continue. And we have $92 up there. We've had it up for a while. That I think it can come up through here. Reject up at 92 again. And then come back down. And really take out some of these levels. 54 down to 50. Possibly that 40, high 40s. And then I'm going to look to enter. It did break out of this sell side wall. Right? Broke out of that sell side wall. Which is good. Which is good for now. It's good for now. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete that. We got this channel now. So now we're going to see how this channel works. Okay, we're going to see how how it respects this channel. I've had this green dot for a while. RSI starting to get a little bit tired, right? Starting to get a little bit tired. When this thing was going up, this thing was going up, right? Came back down, went up, came back down. Boom, slammed down, came up, Right, this thing was making actual moves. Right now, it's not really making much moves. It's kind of just fluttering a little bit. It's kind of just going sideways. There's no real setup. There's no impulse and then a correction. Right, there's no impulse yet. So it's kind of came slowly just grinding up. Okay. It would be actually nicer for upside action for this to come down, clear out some lows, and then impulse and do something like that. Impulse. Okay. When it's just fluttering like that, that's not what bullish people want to see. You don't want to see this, because then you're going to just eventually correct very hard. Okay. 57, to be honest, I don't think so. You don't think it's going down? You don't think it's going down there, so you think you think it started its next move up? You think so, huh? This is the 382 right here, 92. That's the 382, and it rejected. It couldn't close above it, rejected it. So until it closes above 92, we have to think 74 to 92. But yeah, I'm on board with because yeah, the weekly is green, but the monthly's been red. Okay, the monthly's been red. Just to me, that's I'm leaning a little bit bearish until it breaks 92. If it breaks 92, you can start to get bullish. I mean, it's there's prices all the way up to $200 if it does. I do think silver and gold are going to do well. I just think the correction is going to be longer than what's happened right now. You got 3 waves down. I think you're going to have 3 waves up, and then I think you're going to come back down. Something like that. 335. It could be 333. Really, it could be 333. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. A full 3-wave correction. That's dangerous, because then if it's a 333, then if it's 3 down, 3 up, 3 back down, that could just be your A, and then you can come back up in 3. That could be your B, and then you got to come back down. That's when they get ugly. That's what crypto's been facing. It's exactly what crypto did. Crypto did something like this. It came up, and now it's just slowly going down like that. That's the long form correction. So, but yeah, if it does break 92, I'm going to concede and say 130. If it can't break 92, I'm still going to have the idea we're coming down here. But either way, it's fine with me. I'll get in at a level where I'm waiting on it. You came back. Did you leave and then come back once it started to move again, or have you been chilling, just waiting on, just watching XCX? Do I think it's bearish for long-term silver? No, I think silver and gold. I think they're gonna move up. I think it's bearish just short-term, just like a correction. I don't think the correction is done. I mean, silver went up like 200%, and so I think market makers are gonna trap people. Well, here's the thing. I do have a bias. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a bias where, if silver and gold are correcting, that means crypto and traditional stocks are doing well. So yeah, I do have a bias, but overall, just from the structure, even the way gold looks, right? Gold, we have this level of 4,900, right? We have the level of 4,900. This looks corrective, right? This kind of does look corrective, especially after a wave down. It looks unfinished. It looks like it needs, gold definitely looks like it needs another wave down, right? Kind of looks like it needs that. That's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong, but to me, that's what it looks like. It doesn't mean it can't go up, right? If you break 4,900, then gold could be rallying up. But until then, I do think it'll correct. And if gold corrects, silver's not going to go on its own run. Gold and silver are like XLM, XRP. They're pretty interlocked. But I think it's bullish long term. Bullish long term. I think I had price. Yeah, price targets up through here. 6,000 all the way up to 8,000, possibly 10. I don't know. That's in years, But yeah, I think gold can get up to these levels for sure. Especially if interest rates get lowered, we print up, right? So this is why I go over things like this, charts like this. Interest rates, right, are going to get lowered. This chart is going to go crazy. That means there's more debt. That means there's more money. That means it's less valuable. That means risk on assets are more valuable, right? Our economy is expanding, so we're going to print more money, right? So these are the reasons why I go over those, because it gives us a foundation and a framework to put out these ideas. It's not just, oh yeah, it's according to the chart it looks bullish, according to the chart it looks bearish. Half the time the charts are manipulated, so you can't get all of your information from the charts. You got to see what's going on in the world, things of that nature. You can't just, I know people that just read charts and they're wrong a lot, because they don't take into account what's actually going on in the economy, what's going on in the world, things of that nature. Um, um, Hemlock asked if XCX can push above. Yeah, I mean, that's the level. 9-9, 9-9, really 9-0, 9-9. This is at 382 level. This is that confirmation. Yeah, I think it can push above that. Try to reclaim 992, maybe get rejected, but you know, this is a high risk play. This is a high risk play. This thing went crazy. People have been taking profits for sure. You got to think about people taking profits. You entered at 0.005, but what about the people that entered at 0.002? You got to think about these people down here, because they're up 300%. All right. You got to think about the people that entered down through here. They're up tons. They're up 700% right now. You got to think about the other people that are holding the asset that you're holding. If you buy an asset at 10 cents, but it was down at 2 cents, you got to worry about the people who are at 2 cents are up 500%. All right, they're going to start getting out when people are. You'll see news of Jasmine, for instance, right? It's at below a penny. I believe it's going to get up to 10 cents, possibly 20 cents, right? When people are entering in at 10 cents, people are going to be like, oh, I think it's going to go to $1. It's probably going to go to $1. When people like me who have been in at 1.5 cents, it gets up to 10 cents, I'm already up at 10x pretty much. So I'm looking to start scaling out when people are entering in and on hoping for higher prices, right? And so, that's what you got to think about is, okay, what have people entered at? Where's the price been? That's when you kind of start to be like, you know what? Other people are up a 10x. I need to start getting out, because that's a large bag to hold on to, unless they're absolute crazies and they're holding on for dear life, right? So, but yeah, that's what I got for that. I'll be going live again. Is there any other requests before? Any other requests? Gold, silver, kind of touched on those. Precious metals, some traditional stocks. Kind of went over a lot of stuff today. Any last minute requests? No, none. Pardon me, none. No last minute requests. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for stopping by. I do appreciate it. I appreciate your support. If you're interested in the free Discord, it'll be linked in the description. I post up charts. We talk about things, bearish, bullish, neutral. We talk about it all. If you're interested in that paid Patreon membership, it is linked in the description. Tons of tools for you guys to use at your disposal. I thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for your support. I'll be going live again on Monday. I'm not sure what the deep dive tomorrow will be. It'll be interesting for tomorrow. It'll be interesting. So, Hemlock, I'll look into. I'm looking into making a deep dive on Cookie next week, anyways. All right, so just keep a lookout for Cookie. I'm thinking about doing a Cookie deep dive on Tuesday, so it'll be a 15 to 20 minute video, explicitly for Cookie. Okay, so I do appreciate you guys stopping by, supporting the channel. As always, take it easy. Peace.